Yep.
Okay, so I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. That's carried. Item number 13, intersection design policy review for people with disabilities. Who would like to move that? Phil, seconded by Glenn. Is there any discussion? Yanni?
Just, I don't know if we have staff here for this, but we just wanted clarity around what the feedback was from the Disability Advisory Group. So all we're told is that they've considered it, but it would actually be good to know actually what their feedback was. I should say that it's very hard to read, you know, and I mean, it is a bit ironic that we're talking about disability guidelines, and we've got something that, you know, for some people is actually almost impossible to read. But it would be good just to know, and this can just come back as a memo, I don't want to hold this up anymore, but it would be really good to know what the Disability Advisory Group's response was to this policy.
Well, the Disability Advisory Group did consider the policy. Would you like to say?
They did, and at the time they were considering it, the Disability Advisory Group was in transition. Some new members were coming off, as you know, Yanni, and new members coming on. It certainly has been discussed with the Disability Advisory Group, and overall they certainly had supported the policy. You're right that in the report that's not referred to, but in fact they did discuss it, just as did the other disability advocacy groups, like for example the Blind Foundation, and so and they're listed in the report. So there was, what I'm saying is there was clear discussion with that group, and I have sought that assurance from staff.
Right. Hi, Tim.
Apologies.
Sorry, Paul and then Tim.
This may fit, and I may foreshadow a slight amendment, because there is a group that I met just recently. They're going to come and present to the CHED committee on the 7th of April called Be Accessible. And if we're wanting to be the most accessible city in the world, or start leading in that direction, there may be some guidelines they have which could accredit us like much like a 6 Green Star rating, and for a building, this is their rating that cities will be rated upon. And so I just wonder if some of that work could be fed into this program here.
Do one of the staff want to, or should I just take Tim? Because I've got Tim and then Phil.
I think what would be a great help to us if in the report that the feedback is included from that group, and I don't know why it never has been.
I was actually going to say that to the Chief Executive, so that in future when we get reports, can we actually have the feedback from the groups that we consult with, so that when we consult with the Disability Advisory Group, that we actually say in the report the response of the Disability Advisory Group was X, Y and Z, because that gives us clarity over the consultation process as well.
Yes.
Can I just reply to Paul's question too? Look, there has been informal discussions with Barrier Free. I think they're the group you're referring to, and our council.
No, it's not Barrier Free. It's actually Be Accessible. It's like a.
So I'm sure they could be included too, Paul, because there's every reason for the different disability advisory groups to be together, but council will already get good advice.
Barrier Free?
No, it's not Barrier Free. Be Accessible is
Barrier Free.
There's a number of organisations. Barrier Free is the organisation who a number of council units use, and Tim can probably tell us specifically.
They're more the umbrella group for all the groups.
Be Accessible is different. It's just a organisation that will rate individual cities on actually how accessible they are. And
Barrier Free do that too.
It's mini Barraguana.
Tim can clarify. In the preparation of the report, the Blind Foundation and Disabled Persons Assembly were consulted over the detail of the report prior to that coming to both committees. The group that weren't fully consulted over the content of the report were the Disability Advisory Group, which was the query raised at council 2 weeks ago. I've since spoken to the advisor of the Disability Advisory Group, who told me that they were aware of the preparation of this policy, and they were broadly in support of its preparation, but they weren't consulted over the detail of it. And from that point of view, they were content with the direction the policy is taking, and so I spoke to her about whether they wished us to consult further with them over the policy itself. She didn't believe that was necessary because they would actually like to be involved in how the policy is then delivered if council approve it today. So it wouldn't be fair to say they were consulted over the detail of it, but it would be fair to say they were aware of the preparation of it and were broadly in support of the policy.
I think a better process in the future would be to obviously engage them in the process. And then clearly the message is that we want them engaged in the delivery
Absolutely,
as well.
and our apologies for that. That should have happened, and it will happen in future.
Yeah, but in future we'll have that written into the report so that we can be clear.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we've got a mover and a seconder for this, have we?
Yes, I moved it.
Phil and I thought I took a mover and a seconder.
Paul.
No, I thought I took Glenn, but anyway.